I'm Lewis Canfield, and today we'll be looking at one of Patrick's most recent projects in the historic district of Edgartown on the island of Martha's Vineyard. Working in the historic district requires extreme sensitivity to the village context, and yet you also have to maintain the public's perception and view of the house. On this project, even after renovation, the facade of the main house is the same as it's been for hundreds of years. Also, the view to the harbor has not been obstructed by any new construction. Patrick, we are right here on the water in Edgartown on the island of Martha's Vineyard. This is a big project.
Yes,
we
it
got
is.
3 houses here. Tell us what's going on here.
Well, this is on South Water Street in the historic district. We have a 1682 vintage antique house, which is going through a major restoration. And then we have 2 new construction pieces. One, a companion guest house, and a separate carriage house. The program is basically the restoration of the antique house, removing some 1950s poor additions, and then create a new secondary house and a carriage house, all on one large parcel on Edgartown Harbor.
You also have a house that might be unstable and unsafe. I mean, this is a big challenge. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, again, this house has been around since 1682, and it's had many lives and many changes. And there was a very poorly done addition across the whole back of the house in the 50s that had big plate glass windows, and it was also poorly executed. So there was major rot and leakage, and that had really fairly much obliterated the most of the rear elevation of what was the original house. Plus, the original house had been added on probably in its first 100 years of life at least 3 times. So what we tried to do is to say what would have been most historically correct if we said it was, say, 1790. So we pegged a 1790 vintage approach to the house. The entire front facade of the house is intact. The roof is intact. The dormer is intact. There's this absolutely charming and wonderful and romantic little square bay window that was on the side of the house. That we actually cut out surgically and really did a transplant. Took the window completely intact, very carefully removed it, and then reinserted it in the side wall of the newly framed elevation of the house.
We head to the main house to check out the restoration of the first floor reception area and antique bay window.
The flooring system was totally rotted, so we needed to introduce a new flooring system to support the second floor in this particular area. Likewise, the walls we needed to reframe from the inside, but we were able to maintain and reuse all of the original sheathing from 1682.
And you can tell this is old growth wood because some of these planks are quite wide.
Yeah, some of them are like this big.
Right, and they're not producing that kind of lumber
No.
for sheathing anymore.
No. So that's another nice thing. We're able to reuse all the sheathing on the outside of the house.
But the real key to this area is, even with all the new lumber here, we've got this old window.
This is the jewel box of the house. This is an original 1682 square bay window that we were able to surgically remove, reframe the opening, and then put it back, all intact.
This is such a key architectural element. It's viewable from the street.
Right.
This hits all the points we talk about historical accuracy.
And also, we're thinking about how the house is going to be used. This is coming in from the front door, this is the reception area, and then this is really kind of the focal point of this arrival piece when you come into the house.
We travel outside to view the architectural efforts to preserve the public view corridor.
One of the key ingredients, what I believe is the success of this project, is maintaining the public view corridor to the harbor. And what we did is not only leave a good amount of space between the Cape the guest house by tucking it way over behind the garage, right to the limit line of the setback.
So pushing this small house all the way over is very intentional.
Absolutely. And also preserving the open porch at the first floor, which was part of the house as we first got involved, really now creates about a 40-foot view corridor to the harbor from the public sidewalk.
We walked to the adjacent street, Cook Street, to discuss the history of the street, as well as the effects this history had on nearby property designs.
This street was the original street that was the commercial way to the harbor. And many years ago, there was a series of livery stables and basically working buildings. And that by placing the building where we did, we're really treating the street as though it was used from its original form and type.
Well, it's very well done, Patrick.
Thank you.